I'm really into horror movies
Oh
like
wow,
that.
I didn't think that about you. You're so nice and like
Really?
you're so happy and like
Yeah,
positivity. Wow. Okay.
many people.
Did you watch it alone or did you watch it with
Yeah,
people? You watched it alone, just you.
yeah.
Have you watched The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio? Me and Steven, we went into our room and were trying to turn the AC on. And we got a worker up there. I was sweating all day in South America and now back in Michigan, which is weird. Like, I'm genetically, I should be able to handle like humid, hot, you know? I asked Google like how I can introduce myself in Portuguese to you. So I'm
Um,
not totally confident. I might have some accent issues, but is this correct? Tell me. Como você tem estado?
how are you doing?
How are you
How are you
doing?
doing?
Okay.
We stayed in a biological reserve called the Union Biological Reserve. Do you remember? The
Yes.
first 3 days?
Yes, I remember.
I decided to be a biologist since I was 13 years old.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah, it was kind of early.
Python cowboy. And so he just collects Burmese pythons. Oh, your cat is in the background playing. That was so cute. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you.
Oh, awesome.
Here.
Oh wow, she's so cute. It's a she?
It's a she. A model of raising cattle and with silvopastoril is like you have pasture, but you also plant more trees between. You can regrow forest even though you are raising cattle there. So you lessen your damage to the environment.
I said, I
No,
broke my
just
finger.
okay.
Yeah, this is
You broke your finger.
yeah, this is just from basketball. So I guess that's kind of
Ah,
news.
it's from basketball, not from the work on the farm.
No, no, that would be funny if I
okay.
like dropped the camera or something. Were you obsessed with animals? Did you love animals when you were little? How did you get into the career that you're in right now?
Okay. Uh, can you hear me?
Yep, just making sure the audio is recording and everything, and I gotta do Zoom's thing. Okay.
Hi, I'm Laila. I am a biologist from Brazil. I'm originally from São Paulo, but now I live in Rio de Janeiro state at Casimiro de Abreu. I moved here to study maned sloths, which I studied for my master degree. Having my master title, I studied the diet of them.
Yes,
And
I
then
remember you
I
telling me.
stayed, yes.
Yeah.
And then I stayed here to work in AMLD, which is an NGO that aims to it's a conservation program to protect the golden lion tamarins here.
Okay, awesome. And you're still working with AMLD right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I joined the NGO on March of this year. And I plan to stay as long as I can,
Yeah.
actually.
I
I
was
really
just
like
making
this
sure
job.
because I know you moved. You made a big move somewhere in Casimiro, you said?
Yes.
Okay. How big is the distance from your previous location?
I think it's about 1,500 kilometers.
That's a long ways. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're doing AMLD work mainly like online work and stuff through the internet, I'm guessing, or is it physical?
It's
Since it's
kind
so
of
far.
both. It's a balance between both because my job here is I'm a technical assistance or programs assistance.
Okay.
As you learn about when you came here to visit us on June, we are a project that has many strategies that work together to protect the golden lion tamarin and the Atlantic forest. And my job is like to try to connect, try to be a glue between all the strategies and make sure all the actions we take are in line with our strategic planning.
Okay.
We use the open standards for conservation practice as a tool for this strategic planning. And we use the Mirari Share, which is a platform software that deals with these standards. And then we have a results chain that we want to achieve with all the strategies, 12 in our case. And my job is like keeping the software updated and like making sure that all the actions we take are in line with our goal. All the actions we take need to be to conquer, to achieve our goal.
Okay, and are the goals you guys are setting similar to what we learned about, like acquiring patches of land to try to connect it to make a big habitat formation?
Actually, this is a strategy. Our goal is to have at least 2,000 golden lion tamarins living in nature in only one huge block of at least 25,000 hectares of area.
That's the goal. Okay.
This is the goal of AMLG. And then the strategy, as you said, the connecting patches of forest, this is a way we use to achieve this goal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And there's many other ways. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Very complicated problem to attempt to solve. So, yeah, I respect all the workers working on that. And it's mainly Atlantic rainforest habitat that you're trying to work with, or is it also Amazon rainforest?
No, it's only actually is smaller than the Atlantic forest. Is the lowland Atlantic forest from Rio de Janeiro, which is the original.
Yep.
Is the original golden lion tamarins habitat.
Awesome. By the way, I thought we were preparing for like 1 hour later. For some reason, I had it in my mind it was 6 p.m. Michigan, or else I would have prepared like some questions.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's really fine.
Yeah, I usually like to have the podcast like pretty casual, just talk about whatever. And in terms of my life, everything's been, good. I got done with the semester at Miami University, and then we had a short little break. Yep, short little break, and then fall semester started. It was crazy short. Everybody was saying like, "Wow, it seemed like we all wanted a little bit more time," but it's fine because this fall semester is different, and it's like more academic based work and all different students. So that started 3 days ago, and so not too much work yet, but we're gearing up for the academic work on that. And mainly I've been busy with recording footage for my YouTube, and I've been learning about cameras, camera lenses, and how to use like batteries and all this stuff. And sorry, and Final Cut Pro. Yeah, so
really different from the natural world.
Yeah, very different
kind of job.
Very different. Yeah, so because my goal is to show the natural world to people through video. That's like what I want to do. I want to become like a filmmaker making documentaries or YouTube videos. Yeah, I'm still figuring it out what I want to create, but I'm in the phase of learning the technology part of it. So the cameras and the software. Once I know the basics, I can start patching together really nice videos. And recently I came back from a 3-hour drive north in my state. There's a beautiful organic farm, and the owner, I'm friends with the owner, so she let me stay there, and I recorded as much as I could during the 2 nights that I was there. And so now I'm assessing all the footage that I recorded and trying to make some content out of it, some videos. So that's what I've been up to. Yeah. Yep. And
do you play?
Oh, I said I broke my finger.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
You broke your finger.
Yeah, this is just from basketball, so I guess that's kind of
news. It's from basketball, not from the work on the farm.
No, that would be funny if I like dropped the camera or something. But
oh my, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just like trying to get this distraction covered, like tell you what it is. But it's just like the most common injury in the sport of basketball when your finger goes that way when you try to catch the ball, or so it's very common. And thankfully little bones, they heal on their own, so it's not a big issue. I just got this from CVS. It's a little pharmacy in America. We call it CVS. Yeah. So you moved like 2 weeks ago into this new place?
No, actually, in Ilhéus, I was doing my postgraduate program.
Okay.
That's the distance, the big distance. But I moved to Casimiro in May of last year.
Oh, okay. So
I moved from one house to another here in Casimiro. The recent move. So it
Okay.
was like less. How do you say that? It wasn't that trouble, you know?
Yeah. Okay, it wasn't that big a deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I asked Google like how I can introduce myself in Portuguese to you, but I'm not totally confident. I might have some accent issues, but is this correct? Tell me.
I also have accent issues when I speak English.
Yeah.
Many of them, actually.
So if I say it now, can you tell me if I said it correctly? I'm gonna try to say it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Como vai? That's how are you? Como vai? And then
Yeah.
como você tem estado? Is that how are you? Okay.
How are you doing?
How are you
How are you
doing?
doing?
Okay. Yeah, it's such a beautiful language, but very difficult. Como você tem estado?
No.
Okay.
I think the problem with Portuguese is because we don't speak as we write it. Yeah, I'm not talking about the pronunciation. I'm talking about words. I'm talking about vocabulary. We don't write. We don't speak the way we write. So
Yeah.
I think it can be difficult for foreigners to understand it.
I noticed that, and I was searching up the lyrics to a song that they were playing at AMLD, the woman with the guitar that night or that day.
I think Lucia.
Lucia, yeah, she played a song. It was so good. It was like, Somos povo de alegria.
Shot da Alegria?
Chuva, that was the song. I think.
Só molhe esse povo de alegria.
Yeah.
Para nunca mais chorar, assim, né?
Yeah, that was such a good song, and I searched up the lyrics, and I'm like confused because it says de alegria, it says de, which means the D sound. So
even the words, for example, we don't say in English, yes I do, or yes. We don't ever say yes. We don't say sim. We don't answer like that. Okay. We answer like the verb with the verb.
Oh wow.
So we can confuse some people.
I see. Yeah. And English also has some complicated stuff, like a lot of words they are spelled differently than how they sound, like night. Something as simple as night.
Yes.
There's a G, silent G, and an H. But yeah, it's just a learning curve, I guess. But overall, your English is great.
Thank you. More than enough. I don't think it is, but it's okay.
I mean, more than enough to like do the translation. You were very helpful, and it was very funny when we were teaching you certain words. Like you were asking when an animal manure, like you said, what is
manure? Yes, I remember it. Yes.
And you were saying that the other word for it is a very funny sound. Yeah, it sounds funny. And when you mentioned that, I do agree. That word does sound pretty funny. I just never thought about it, but yeah, poop is a funny sounding word.
Yes, I knew it wasn't the correct word, but I needed to express it somehow.
Yeah. No, you got it. Yeah, that was a good catch because yeah, in the scientific world, if you said poop, it's just kind of out of place. So manure is more formal. And speaking of manure and poop, there's that one bird species, the jacu, or I forget. Yeah, remember? I put it in my notes. I have my journal here. I have to find which page I put it. But they said like the jacu eats a certain plant, and that plant needs the jacu to eat it, and only the jacu's digestive system causes it to grow. I found that very fascinating.
Yes, the imbiu pimenta.
Oh, okay.
Or imbiu, I guess.
Oh yes, imbiu. That's the plant name?
The plant name.
Okay. Yeah, it's somewhere in here. It's a lot of pages. They're all filled. But yeah, that stuff like that is so fascinating to me because that shows how irreplaceable nature is. Like you can't destroy it. You can't replace it. You know, because then that plant can't grow without that species, and then both of those go extinct. The overall system becomes less biodiverse, less stable. Yeah, it's totally irreplaceable system of nature, and it really shows with those type of facts of relationships.
And we have many other examples like the passion fruit, and that is only pollinated by a wasp species. And then when humans try to pollinate it on crops, it doesn't go that well. So
yes, I remember that when you guys are teaching us that. Yeah, they need the wasp. Oh yes. Oh, I thought
Nefertiti's here wanting to say hi. Oh no, she fled.
Is it a cat or a dog?
Yes, it's a cat.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you.
Oh, awesome.
Here.
Oh wow, she's so cute.
Yeah.
It's a she?
It's a she.
Okay.
And she has a brother, Tutankhamun.
Wow.
That is somewhere.
I have a cat as well. He's upstairs. His name's Loki. Yeah, and we have turkeys outside.
What is his name? Sorry.
His name's Loki. Loki.
Loki. Yeah. Yes. I know Loki.
We adopted him. So his name was Loki when we adopted him, and we decided not to change the name. And that's if you know the movie Thor, the God of Thunder.
Yeah.
That's his brother.
Yes.
Yeah, Loki.
I was really into Marvel movies some time ago.
Oh, okay. Nice. So you know all about Loki.
Yeah.
The first
he
Avengers.
Was like the main crush of many nerd girls I knew.
Oh yeah, the actor. I forgot the actor's name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Those movies are amazing. In America, when it came out, Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, the theaters, it was like the parking lot is absolutely full. The Taco Bell next door parking lot is absolutely full. The KFC is absolutely full. And then there's cars on the grass parked. Like, that's totally illegal, but that's the impact those movies had when they came out. Infinity War and Endgame, it was amazing.
And here in Casimiro, we don't have theaters, so movie theaters. So I miss that a lot from São Paulo.
Oh, yeah. So Sao Paulo had movie theaters, quite a few of them?
A lot.
A lot.
São Paulo is a huge city. It has over 20 million people.
Yeah, Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro are the largest in Brazil, right?
Is that right? Yeah.
Okay, and I'm just trying to see Casimiro so I know. It's CASIMIRO. IMIRO. Okay. Oh, it's in the state of Rio de Janeiro? Or...
Yeah.
Casimiro de Abreu?
Isso. Casimiro de Abreu.
Okay. De Abreu. Okay, I see. So it's like near the Atlantic Ocean.
This is why it's called Atlantic Forest.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't know where Casimiro was, but yeah, it makes sense that you're there, close to the Atlantic rainforest, and you can work with AMLD easily. Okay. So one question I like to get started off with for my podcast guests, for the conservationist guests, is what got you into like working with nature and protecting nature and species? Like, what did you do as a kid? Were you obsessed with animals? Did you love animals when you were little? How did you get into the career that you're in right now?
Okay. Since I was a kid, I loved animals, domestic animals. I was interested in wild animals as well. However, I wasn't like as many colleagues of mine. I wasn't that into documentaries, into this media. I was more like, I knew what I wanted to do with my workforce, basically. I wanted to protect the environment. So, and I decided to be a biologist since I was 13 years old.
Oh, wow, that's great.
I was, it was kind of early. I was really divided into being a veterinarian or a biologist. But I think I did the right choice because I'm into ecology now. My master's degree was in ecology, so I like to see the ecosystems as a whole instead of studying unique species or specializing in animals only. Wow. I like to see them into a system.
Wow.
So I started studying biology. Here in Brazil is different from the USA. because you have in your colleges and your universities, the majors, they are more flexible. Here we enter in a biology college, and you can't change it midways, you know? You need to get out of it and then proceed to enter into another college.
Okay.
I don't know if I was clear.
No,
Sorry.
you said you can't switch once you start it. You have to finish it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I understood it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I started I graduated in 2017. I worked some time in an office, and then the years of 2018 and 2019, I was a volunteer in many NGOs or projects, or even conservation units from the government. I worked because I wanted to, even if I was a biologist, I wasn't sure how to get into work with conservation, which was my goal.
Okay.
And then after this year, I was able to pass into the postgraduate, my postgraduation program in Ilhéus, Bahia, and studying the sloths.
Oh yeah.
And then I think so started the. Do you say mastership or no?
We say like master's degree. Master's.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I started in 2020, the year of where pandemic started. And then I got my master's degree in 2022. And then I started to work as a researcher from of a project called Connect Project here in Casimiro.
You said Connect Project? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, Connect Project.
Yes.
Okay.
The goal of the project was like to assess the impacts that the gas and oil pipelines we have here on Rio de Janeiro state on the movement patterns of many groups of fauna, like the sloths, which I was monitoring, but also the golden lion tamarins and small mammals as well.
Oh wow! And you do that with trail cameras and stuff, or? Okay.
Yeah, camera traps and also radio telemetry.
That's amazing. I can include the link to Connect Project in the description of this video if they have like a website. If you want to send me whatever links, you know.
Yeah. Actually, we don't, because it was a project funded by Petrobras, our gas and oil company here. And the report's still not public yet. They need to approve, make it official. We can't review our results still.
Okay, gotcha.
This kind of bureaucracy.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's a process, right?
Yeah, but I can share with you once it's allowed.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you have like you've dabbled in different areas of conservation, like quite a few different. Yeah.
Yes, especially during my year of volunteering in many NGOs, I was able to work with right whales, river turtles in Amazonia.
Let me search this up. Right whale, so RIGHT whale?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. You said they're in Amazonia, like the Amazon River, or?
No, not the whales.
Oh.
I studied river turtles.
River turtles.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say that would be amazing if a whale was in the Amazon River.
No. The whales were in southern Brazil.
This is an amazing animal. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe these are in this planet. You know, when you look at the photos, you forget, you know, that they're here, like, as we speak. That is amazing. That you worked with it is cool. So, river turtles, right whales, and maned sloths. You worked with maned sloths prior. I just want to see what a maned sloth looks like. So, this is the correct species?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the right species.
Okay. That's awesome. Wait, what is this? This looks like the typical sloth when I think of sloth. Is that not the maned sloth?
No.
Okay.
This is we call it. I'm not sure if that's a common sloth, Bradypus variegatus, or if it's we call it preguiça de bentinho.
Okay.
Which is another three-toed sloth, but it's from Amazonia.
Okay. Wow, that's a cool resume you have working with those species.
Yes.
In terms of the right whales, what kind of work did you do with that? Did you ever get to like see them, or was it more like you were handling the data and stuff?
No, I was collecting the data, actually.
Okay.
All the volunteering, it was really handling or at least dealing somehow with the animal per se.
Yeah.
With the right whales, we did observations, like focal observations of them.
Okay.
We stayed at a place called Morro do Farol. It's like I forgot what farol what is the translation of farol, but it's like the tower with the lantern in the sea.
Like a pier. Let me make sure. I just want to show you a photo so you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I'm wrong. It's not a
And
pier.
it's a shame I forgot this vocabulary because I heard it a lot in movies and series and stuff.
You're good because I forgot it too. Because pier is something. Pier is something else. It's similar, but it's not that. I know what you're talking about. The tower where on the top there's like a light, and it's usually by the coast.
Yes, and it sometimes it goes round like that,
Yeah.
and it lights. It's like a point of light for navigators. You know.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I also forgot the term.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not too common. So honestly, I should know that because in Michigan we have a lot of coastline and we have a lot of those in the north of it, Michigan. Yeah, but yeah, I know what you mean. So yeah,
there is a hill there which is receives this name. It's actually a touristic point in the city. We did this work, which is called Torres, which means towers, literally. And then we sat there in a duo. One of the people would using the binoculars would search for any sign of the whales or other cetaceans. We frequently saw sea wolves.
Sea wolf. What is a sea wolf?
Sea wolf is like, it's not a sea lion. But it's like smaller and it really looks like a dog.
Wow, let me see.
It's like a dog with
When I type sea wolf, I'm getting all types of different images, but maybe in America we call it something else. But it's a type of sea lion.
If you wanna look for lobo do mar.
Lobo. How do you spell Dumar?
D-O.
D-O.
Space M-A-R.
Lobo do Mar. Okay, let me see. Is it this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, awesome.
Super cute.
Yeah. It is very cute. Okay. So you're spotting them through that tower with the light?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the binoculars, and the other person, while it's like it would be like 30 to 40 minutes each observation, and then the other person would take notes and somehow still paying attention to the scene. And if the person spotted something that could be a cetacean, they would also grab the binoculars and try to identify it. But it would be like an easier binocular work. Like they wouldn't stay with the binoculars the whole 40 minutes.
Okay, I see. Wow. Okay, and you're also spotting whales from that viewpoint?
Yeah.
Oh, and you saw them, or was it rare to see them?
No, I worked there from September to the 1st of November of the 2019. It was an atypical year because we have this common fluctuations, Some years you will see a lot, and other years you will see fewer of them.
Okay.
And then we only started seeing them close to the shore, like uh, to find a sexual partner, uh, or like feeding the babies, nurturing the babies. On the at the end of October, like I think only 2 weeks before I went home.
Oh wow.
And then
Yeah.
we would see them really close to the shore and really well,
Yeah.
I remember seeing two males fighting for a female
Oh
while I was
wow.
there, like three whales so
Wow.
close.
That is
It
great.
was really amazing.
And it was in the daytime or nighttime?
Daytime.
Daytime. Wow. That's so cool. I've seen a whale once in my life. It was in California. I was on this place called Devil's Slide in California with a friend, and we were walking, and the ocean is to the left of us, and to the right of us is the Rocky Mountains. And the left, we're
Mm-hmm.
just looking, and we see way far, like the tail of the fluke of the whale, just come in, go back in.
Ah,
It was so cool. But that's the only time I've seen
so
them. Yeah.
cool.
Well,
Which species of
those
whale?
those whales were. I couldn't tell with just the tail, but I'm thinking like
Ah,
humpback maybe. I don't know, humpback whale maybe.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
They
But
usually do these acrobatics.
oh yeah, okay, yeah, most likely. And I have actually seen more whales. I just forgot that killer whales is technically a whale, right? Or is it a
Mm-hmm.
dolphin?
It's a dolphin, yeah.
Oh, it's a dolphin. Okay, related. Yeah, I've seen killer whales in Alaska when I went with my family. Alaska, we were on a little boat, not like one person boat, but a little boat full of like 15 or 10 people, and those killer whales came close. Like the dorsal fin, it was like going like that, and it created like this ripple in the water. It looked like a submarine. It was one of the most incredible things I ever seen in my life.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
That's just so cool. We were able to visit Alaska.
Oh yeah, Alaska is something else. It's like a whole nother planet compared to every other state in the USA. There's every other state is, it's cool, it's got its nature, but Alaska is like a whole universe of nature. It's like endless, you know.
Yeah.
That's a place I want to move to, honestly, but I don't know if I can
Really?
yeah, but people keep telling me like you're not going to be able to permanently stay there because the winter it gets so depressing with 1 hour of light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the food costs, everything costs more because it has to be transported there. But I don't know, I feel like I would like it because it's just like, it's so nature, it's all nature. It's all just simple stuff. Like you gotta get firewood to be warm, you gotta get meat for food, and that's it. That's all your life revolves around that. Um, but yeah, well, I'm thinking about it. I don't have the money to do that. I'm trying to make the money first, but then we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. But I would love to go back to Alaska. We visited like 6 or 7 cities because we did a cruise trip route, and it went to like the capital city, then Ketchikan and Skagway, Juneau, Talkeetna. We did some fishing there, and I wanted to do like a bush plane where you're on a little plane going over the forest because that's when you really get to see how endless, almost endless Alaska is. Um,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, because in the lower 48 we have all these national parks, right? Yellowstone, Grand Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
Alaska has a handful of national parks, and it's just one state. And even outside of the national parks, you'll see like these mountains and mountain ranges and lakes that could be their own national park, but nobody gave
Mm-hmm.
it a name yet because it's a lot of it is kind of uncharted. So yeah, just incredible. And I'm going to another national park this close to 2 weeks. I'll be going to Yosemite for the first time. So I'm gonna try to balance all the Miami work and stuff I'm doing with this little vacation I'm taking into the park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, Yosemite is
It's
amazing.
it seems a lot, but I think this is the moment
Yeah, I
to
think
do this
so.
kind of things.
Exactly. I can just balance it out. Whenever I'm back in my hotel, I'll do whatever I need to do, and then I'm back out in the nature. of Yosemite Valley. The
Mm-hmm.
the valley of Yosemite is where I really want to maximize my time because this is where the meadows are, like the grassy fields, and then the forest on the outskirts, and then beyond the forest is those big rock mountains like the El Capitan and Half Dome. And I like to be in the forest. I don't really care to climb the mountains. I mean, sure,
Mm-hmm.
but my priority is the forest. Like I want to go into the forest
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of be part of the forest like an animal almost, like be touching things and like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's my type of travel. Um and that's the valley that I want to go. There's the traditional hunting grounds of the Awanichi tribe were in Yosemite. So yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I I can hear you.
Yeah.
I'd be really looking forward to also.
I don't know much about like Brazil national parks. So like is there a national park close to you?
Um, we call it it's actually another category. It's not we don't call it national park. We call it national biological reserve
Okay.
because our conservation units they follow a system implemented in the 2000 in the year 2000,
Mm-hmm.
and they follow up some categories. We have two upper categories. One is of sustainable usage,
Okay.
which are like reserves where you can do more activities, where more activities are allowed.
Yeah.
Like for example, not you can even produce in these conservation units, but you have to like restrain the usage is restrained, but it's not that restricted. For
Okay.
example, and the other category, which is the restricted category, is the uh, total protection. Is I think it's this is the translation,
Okay.
which is the case of the biological reserves. We stayed in a biological reserve called the Union Biological Reserve. Do you
Oh,
remember the
yes.
first 3 days?
Yes, I remember. That was a. I thought it was called Unayo Biological Reserve. Is that the one you're talking about? Unayo.
Yes,
Okay.
Union.
Unio. Okay. Yeah, I love that place. It was so beautiful when I opened my cabin door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed up a little bit late just to see the stars. Like it was so many
Mm-hmm.
stars. I could see like changes in the night sky. Like maybe I was looking at galaxies or something. Like it wasn't all black. It was some
Mm-hmm.
wispy blue coming, and it was so gorgeous. I was just looking up at night,
Mm-hmm.
and at night,
No way.
yeah, at night all those bugs come out. Those fascinating bugs like that you don't really see in the day. Like I saw so many different types of ants, big like soldier looking ants, and like this moth that was like this big of a moth.
Mm-hmm.
Just amazing night creatures over there.
Yeah. And for example, and then you remember that we were basically the only ones there
Yeah.
because visitation is more restricted. It's not forbidden, but it's really restricted and controlled, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And activities like research, they need authorization.
So it was a
Is
great opportunity that we got to see. Yeah. So
sorry?
it's a great opportunity that we were able to actually go in and
Yeah.
see because it's not allowed. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm grateful for that. Same thing with CPRJ, right? Like that's not
Yeah.
open to the public. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to schedule your visit. If you want to do some research there, you need to really have a robust cause or a robust motive to do that kind of research.
Okay. I I was thinking for a second that Cordero's farm was also like that, but Cordero's is open to visitors, right?
Yeah, for
Okay.
example, Cordeiros is belongs to the other category, the less restrained one category.
Okay.
We call it RPPNs, Reserva Particular do Patrimônio Natural, which are private reserves. For example, Ayrton the owner
Yeah.
owns the land. However, he wants to protect it, and then he submitted it to the natural to the government, and established this commitment of protecting the nature.
Okay.
For example, you have a huge, not necessarily huge, but you have some hectares of land,
Mm-hmm.
and then you want to protect it. Then you go through a process to create a conservation unit of your land.
Mm-hmm.
It's still yours. However, you must follow some rules from the government to maintain that as a conservation unit.
Oh,
You need
it's
to, you don't, you, you need to follow some rules, some
yeah.
requirements to do so.
Now it's all coming back to me because we did learn about that. Yeah, because those requirements for the protecting certain sections of natural land and forest and yeah. Okay, that's what
Mm-hmm.
Aiton did with Corderos.
Yes,
Okay.
he did, and Ayrton and his deceased wife Ana Beatriz,
Mm-hmm.
they did that, and they because they are really into agroecological systems. They are into environmental education. They receive schools there.
Mm-hmm.
They do all this kind of engagement with the local people as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I have to like write a letter to them or something because that I was never
Mhm.
more inspired by another place than that place because
Yeah.
it was so amazing. So I want to go back there and like just to go as a visitor, rent out a room or something. And I mean, look,
You you can volunteer that there.
yeah, I have to look into that. Once I get over this hump of work in my
Mm-hmm.
life, and find a little few weeks of like more free time, I will try to do something there, volunteer, whatever. I want to just go back there. And
Mm-hmm.
Lucas was telling me like I shouldn't wait. I told him like I'm trying to make videos on YouTube, and Lucas was telling me like you should make a video on our farm and put it on your channel. I'm like, oh, that's a big type of video. I don't know if I have the skills yet. I have to gain my video creation skills basically. And he was like, sometimes you just have to start. You just have to go for it. So
Yeah,
I gotta take him up on that
exactly.
because that's a huge opportunity. I mean, right
Mm-hmm.
now I'm doing I have three kind of, it's informal, but I have like three clients that I'm working for. Like I'm recording for their farm, like the one I told you about in northern Michigan. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I go to Yosemite, and there's also another farm there where I know the owner because I emailed him and we did a video chat podcast. And he's the owner of Raw Farm USA, Mark McAfee. So he said I'm open to coming over and recording footage there, and we can do a physical podcast. So I got him that I
Mm-hmm.
have to do, and then in after I come back from there, I have to go down to Georgia. Same thing with another farmer called his name's Will Harris, and he owns White Oak Pastures. So I mean, I've never been more overwhelmed with how much work I have to do right now, but it's amazing, like these opportunities. I'm very grateful.
Yes, but I see how difficult it is to do this much
Yeah.
work because you have your classes just started. You said 3 days ago, right?
Yes, that's the thing. That's like a lot all combined. But one good thing is all the footage I record here, it's going to be my inquiry action project. Like my IAP, our final project, we have to do something for our inquiry action project. And for me, it's making a short film about sustainable animal agriculture. So farming,
Nice.
producing animal products in a way that doesn't harm the ecological systems in the area. So that's kind of part of it. Not totally a part of it, but like the fact that I'm getting this footage from these different farms is going to be included into my IAP film. So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of an overlap there, but it is a lot of work in total that I have to do in these next few 2 or 3 months. But it's really exciting
Mm-hmm.
too. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
like you said, like it's a total flip than nature, like learning about like all this technology and stuff. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I'm not too. I did a computer science degree in for my bachelor's, so I know how technology. I know a little bit about how it is made, like software and stuff, and obviously like the social media culture. I'm into that, I guess, but um, I would much rather do something where I'm doing field work, where I'm just studying population of gray wolves or caribou migrations. That's like my dream job, you know. But unfortunately, in America, those jobs are so like not consistent. Like, there's no guarantee you're going to be able to like do that type of work regularly or for high pay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or for high pay. Yeah, so that's why I'm doing something a little bit more, a lot more actually, on the creative side of things. Like, I'm just trying to make videos, and I'm using this master's degree to kind of back up the stuff I'm saying in the videos with real data and research from all types of scientists and researchers. So that's what I've been up to basically, and we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to get more videos to go viral and stuff. Yeah, it's just a
Mm-hmm.
lot of work.
Yes, and even working in a specific platform like YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
you need to not only have all these skills you are craving right now, but also like understanding how the platform works,
Oh yeah.
how to gain more views. Is not because not necessarily the most viewed videos are like the best. You know what I mean? The
I
best
know.
quality ones.
Yeah,
It's
I know. I
like
agree.
more having this glimpse of how to go viral.
Yeah. See, I always keep tabs with like the trending page on YouTube, and most of the time the videos that get the highest views, it's all junk stuff. It's like a lot of just time wasting videos, unfortunately. But every now and then I see a video in the top 20 trending that is actually highly educational about nature.
Mhm.
Like this independent filmmaker, he recorded all these bird shots in his backyard, and it got like 18 million views. And so I'm just trying to like, I'm trying to see what's working, what's not working for
Mhm.
nature content. Really like important videos, not just time wasting videos, you know. But most of the time, unfortunately, YouTube is still kind of like a play around place. You know, it's like the people at the top are like not benefiting the human race much, if you ask me. Like,
Mhm.
that are usually on the top. But you know, every now and then we get some gem of a video that makes it on trending. So it's just a great opportunity, I think, YouTube, because um, nowadays, like, it's just such a blessing to even have YouTube. Like, you can just
Mhm.
press a button and publish your work into the world. Somebody in a different country can press play and start watching it. So um, yeah, it's just a great opportunity.
Yeah. Do you plan to have to get a specialization, or it's not a I don't mean a mastership, but another specialization in like cinema or
Like,
directions.
honestly, as of now, no, because film school and stuff is now less valuable than ever before, because everything you need to know about making cinema and film is already available on YouTube and on the internet.
Mm,
So it's just a matter of just start doing the work, start doing it, and make the next video better, the next video better. And the more you do, the more you do.
okay.
And that's kind of like because I've been down so many YouTube rabbit holes and considered like, should I get another specialization? And the solid answer is no. Like, overall, it's just like
Okay.
everyone's saying like, do not, film school is a waste of money, blah blah blah. Because and then you'll
Mm,
see videos on YouTube like, everything I learned in film school in 25 minutes, and all the comments are like, I wish I never went to film school, because this video covers everything. And
like a wave of regret.
yeah, because honestly, like, it's a matter of like doing the work and just getting better at it. Because to be a YouTuber, that's like the total opposite of getting degrees under your belt and stuff. That's like not required in order to be a YouTuber. Not that I don't value my degrees, but like, most YouTubers that have made it big, they don't have any really formal education tied to it. In terms of animal channels, nature channels, one of the biggest channels, I think it might be the biggest animal channel. It's Brave Wilderness. It's on YouTube. So Brave Wilderness, it has 21 million
Mhm.
subscribers, and the guy is very like knowledgeable. Like his stuff isn't junk. I wouldn't call it junk because if you just watch one of his videos, beginning to end, he says so many facts about whatever animal that
Mhm.
was the topic of the video, and yeah, he's not one of those like time wasting type people, but he also doesn't have any formal education, and he's literally 21 million subscribers just from improving the quality of his
Mhm.
videos, incrementally improving them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Learning through doing it, basically.
yeah, learning how to talk better, like at the camera, being more engaging, more eye contact, whatever, charismatic, and going to these crazy places, crazy wild places and stuff. Real quickly back on Cordero's, the food was amazing. The food was so
It
amazing.
is.
And I was eating so much. Breakfast, I ate a lot. Lunch, dinner. I was actually scared when I came back to check the weight. I was like, I must have gained 5 pounds minimum. But I checked it and it said I lost 3 pounds. And that's when I was like, that food was just very nutrient dense and natural. And like the same amount of calories from processed foods, it would not make me feel full. It would make me want to crave more.
Mhm.
So that was magical, the food situation there. What is the name of that?
Yes.
The powdery.
Powdery, like powder, right?
Well,
Like,
not totally
was
powder.
it made of,
It was like ground up
uh,
something. It was like ground up, and you just sprinkle it over your rice or your beans, and
I think
yeah,
it's farofa?
possibly. Does it? Is it like kind of
Maniac
slightly?
flour. Was that it?
Wait, say it again.
Maniac flour?
I must
Not
have.
flour, but flour. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I know what you mean.
Flour, I think.
Yeah, flour and flour sound exactly the same. But
Okay.
you're talking about the food, right? Like the powdery food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the name, but that was one of the things that was very unique because we don't really get that here in America. It goes well with
Hmm.
everything. And then the risotto that I had at AMLD with you guys had like a professional chef at AMLD, and it
Hmm.
was just so good.
Yeah.
Everything was great. The drinks were great. All the concoctions, everything was just like, yeah, it was amazing, the food situation. And
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I was very inspired by that place because it was kind of felt like similar to like a wildlife reserve, like in Africa, those wildlife reserves that are just magnificent. They're luxurious and they also help nature, and you get to be connected to nature. That's something I want to do in my life. Like it's just like that's nothing's more amazing to me than that. That's like a the Disneyland of nature, basically.
Hmm.
It's so cool.
Like a full immersion on nature.
Yeah. Yeah, and like if we had more time where we weren't so busy with our master's work, I would be just walking around the whole Corderos picking up little plants and rocks and looking at everything I can. Like, and the last day I looked up and I saw this beautiful bird like fly over, and like it spread its wings, and like the tail was so long, and I've never seen that shape of bird before, and it felt like I was looking at a dinosaur or something. It was so cool.
I think that was a jacu.
Jacu? Okay.
Yeah.
Jakku, is that like the turkey one? The bluish,
Yeah.
darkish. Okay, this one was red and it wasn't like big. It was just like maybe this long, but it had like a
Uh,
long tail and it kind of looked like a.
the tail was
Yeah.
the tail striped?
Oh man,
Striped of white?
I don't remember because it just flashed over me and like the sun was
Uh-huh.
on top of it. But I do remember that it's like most of its body was like dark red. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Maybe it was an alma de gato. Do you remember
that's what I'm
the soul of
thinking.
the cat bird?
Yeah, Alma de Gato. It most likely that's what it came to mind when I first saw it. But if I could get a closer look at it, I could 100% confirm that. But it was so cool. Like
Mm-hmm.
in such minimal time, you get to see so much nature and wildlife. So just imagine if you spent like a full week there, nothing but searching for nature, how much you would see. Uh, Amazing.
You should do this when you come back.
Yeah, I have to send like a nice letter or email to Corderos because I haven't had time to process everything. Like right after we came back, back to work. But I gotta send Aiton or send Corderos a message like how amazed I was and possibly do some volunteer work or just come by
Mhm.
and record as much as I can, like what I'm doing in these farms. Yeah, I gotta talk to. I can contact them through their like. I'm sure I have their website or somewhere. If not,
Yeah,
I'll
and
ask
if you
you.
need Ayrton's or Helena's direct contact, I have their WhatsApp numbers, and they would be glad to just hear from you.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm sure they are going to receive you with open arms. They do this with basically everybody, so
Oh
it
okay,
won't be
awesome.
different with you.
Yeah, I will. I will like. Yeah, if you can send the links or the numbers, I will
Hmm.
contact them and let them know my situation with how busy I am with what I'm doing right now, and then tell them whenever they can have me after the semester or whenever I'll
Yes,
go.
they can give you a signal like which month is better
Mm-hmm.
or something like that.
Oh yeah. Um. So you're moving in right now. Is your house fully stocked with furniture, or is it still being filled up?
Oh, I won't say organized because
Okay.
it's not, but it's like almost there, like
Yeah.
90% of the house is ready.
Gotcha. Nice. Wait, are you close to the beach or kind of a drive away from the beach?
Yeah, I'm 40 minutes away from the beach.
40 minutes away. Okay.
And also the best thing about Casimir is that we are 40 minutes to the beach, 40 minutes to the mountains,
Wow.
and like 1.5 hour from Rio de Janeiro city, from the
Wow. Basically, pretty much close to everywhere, like in the middle. Okay.
yeah, in the middle.
Yeah.
Casimiro itself doesn't have much to do, but it's like close to all these amazing places here in the state.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a strategic place, strategic small town actually.
I really loved my time in Brazil. Like in Rio, we stayed at. I'm trying to remember the name of the neighborhood. It was a nice one where there's like no crime, and like that section we were in, it was very nice buildings and like not dangerous.
Copacabana,
We stayed at the
Copacabana, right?
we stayed at the Royalty Copacabana Hotel. So wherever that was at, I like that area, and I also liked like after Copacabana, we stayed at an Airbnb, just me and some students. After the
Mm-hmm.
studies was over, and we were right next to the beach. I'm talking like a 2 minute walk, and it was amazing
Mm-hmm.
because I've never had that much easy access to a beach before, and the beach was amazing. Because my expectations were it's very gonna be crowded and pollution maybe. It was not much pollution. It was just people playing
Mm-hmm.
volleyball. It was like people walking and like surfing and jogging, and it's like it was like a beach heaven. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was during summertime here, which is for us, it's like from November to until March. It's so crowded. The
Okay.
New Year's Eve is unbearable there.
Okay.
I think it wasn't that crowded because and it was like a lighter mood because it is we were here during our winter time,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
people wasn't that weren't that anxious to see the beach.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Even in the winter, the weather was so nice. It was just amazing. Is it a lot hotter in the summer, or is it a little bit hotter?
No, it's far hotter than that. It's
Oh
like
wow.
40 Celsius degrees up.
Okay. Wow.
And actually the problem is not that the temperature reaches 40 degrees. It's actually because it stay at 40 degrees even at night. This
Oh
is the
shoot.
main complaint because it won't get cooler at night.
Wow. Yeah, I remember the first night that we came. just the winter was hot for us. Like the first night we came, like we were walking around at night and we were getting sweaty. And me and Steven, we went into our room and were trying to turn the AC on. And we got a worker up there. The worker had to turn it on for us because we couldn't figure it out. And then the AC was just blasting all night.
Oh my god.
But honestly,
Uh,
yeah, we kind of overdid the AC. We were getting cold at night.
No, it's really funny because I was sleeping with blankets during that same time period.
Oh
We
wow.
were like turning the AC at maximum.
That's crazy. We're from Michigan. Steven and I were both from. He used to be from Michigan. Now he's in a place that's not too far from Michigan, Indiana. So like those are cold states. In the winter,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 months from now, there's gonna be like this much snow on the ground where I am, and like icicles hanging, and it's actually really beautiful the winter here. But most people are not a fan of winter and ice and snow. Oh, you're back. Okay, yeah, you froze for a second, but it's back.
Yeah, you froze a bit to me
Oh,
too.
that's funny. Um, yeah, so like we were just used to like the colder climate, I guess, which is weird. Like I'm genetically, I should be able to handle like humid, hot, because like you look at my skin, I have melanin and like, because my parents are Bengali. I'm genetically
Mm-hmm.
Bengali, which is also similar climate. It's right to the east of India, and but since I was born in like such cold states, I think I just like mentally adjusted. I don't know. But you know what's
Yeah,
funny?
I don't think humans, even from different world parts, they have this range of genetically based. I think it's just you can acclimatize yourself to
Mm,
everywhere you go since you are used to the weather.
yeah, probably. You're probably correct on that.
Okay.
Now that I'm back here, right? It's so funny because right after I came back from the Brazil expedition, my parents and my brother, they're like, "How are you not bothered by the heat? Because it was really hot in summer." But I just came back from South America, so like I really didn't it didn't affect me because like I was sweating all day in South America. And now back in Michigan, they're just like looking at me like, "Are you okay?" Because usually I'm the guy complaining about the heat. And now,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and now when we're driving and everybody in the car is asking, "Turn the AC on." I'm like, "Oh, I forgot about the AC. I was like okay with the heat." So South America did something to me, something very beneficial to me.
It
It
crushed you.
now I literally don't complain about heat anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
You
pretty
saw
sure.
what really heat is
Yeah.
here.
But I'm pretty sure I will complain if I went in your guys' summer. That would have been really hot.
Yeah, no. If people who are born here complain, I'm not born here. I was born in São Paulo, which is far more cooler than here.
Hmm.
And during summertime, especially when we are at field work, during that temperature, it's really hard.
Yeah, I bet. So you told me Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro had some sort of like competition. I forget what you told me.
Yeah, yes.
What is that again? If you want to tell it to the viewers so they know.
We have vocabulary differences that we also bicker
Oh, okay.
about.
Yeah.
Like, for example, cookies. In
Mm-hmm.
São Paulo, we say bolacha, and in Rio, people say biscoito.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a much rivalry about these two words, what is the correct one or not. And then people from Rio, the cariocas, they are so easygoing. They're kind of,
I remember you
uh,
telling me that.
we call them lazy, and they call us stressed all the
Okay.
time because you're all São Paulo people are like uh, always going to work, workaholics,
Mm-hmm.
or grumpies, kind of colder
Mm-hmm.
to other people, while the cariocas are more heartwarming.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think this is the source of rivalry, basically.
I can understand it. I kind of sense that feeling of like relaxing in Rio, and I love Rio de Janeiro people, but I personally am a workaholic. So I feel like I needed to do something, I needed to like, it felt like I was in some sort of simulation where life is on pause, and it's just like everybody's
Uh-huh.
like, everything is just like chill time 24/7. And I'm not gonna lie, I was going a little bit crazy toward the end. I was like, I need to go and start working something.
Mm-hmm.
In total, I get a lot of work done every day. Like I wake up, I start working on the videos, the editing, and reading. I'm reading a bunch of books right now. I'm reading Elephant Whisperer by Lawrence Anthony. So I'm trying to get all these books read as well and doing the Miami work. And I love this stuff. I love the more work I do, the more happy I am. Like when I go to bed at night, I can fall asleep easily knowing that I used my time today. So like when I when I was in Rio, I was like, yeah, this is cool. The second day, it's like, yeah, it's awesome. The third day, it's like, this is getting kind of crazy. Where it's like walking around and like, but I did like enjoy it. But I don't think I could. If I had a choice, I'd probably be living in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Because when we say cariocas, we meant the people from the city of Rio de Janeiro.
Okay.
Here in Casimiro, which is on the outskirts of the state, it's different. People are more, is less, are less chill, you know?
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Like with the language barrier, sometimes my group they would be going this way, and I would tell them like I'm just gonna walk around a little bit, see what I can find, because that's usually how I like to travel in America when I go to New York or some big city. I like to just explore on my own. I just like to travel
Hmm.
that way. Not all the time, but sometimes. So I tried doing that in Rio, but I can't read anything, not even the signs or the stickers, and it was just like all these people walking by, right? I bought something to eat. I sat down, started eating it. All these people walking by, a lot of people, a lot of awesome, friendly people, but I still felt so alone because like
Hmm.
I can't say a word to anybody other than obrigado, and it was like, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I imagine.
It was a new experience though. I've never would have experienced that before if I didn't try that. Um, and then some street kids came and they were like pointing at my food, like asking for my food, and I thought they were like homeless, so I just gave them one half of my food. And then as they were
Hmm.
walking away, I'm like, those kids didn't even look homeless. What I mean? I just felt like they took half my food. So it's like it was a different type of world.
Because you didn't know what were they
Yeah,
really asking.
yeah, exactly. I mean, they looked like they were hungry and they didn't want to pay for food, and they saw a tourist, and they came to me, took half my food. So I had some unique experiences. I met an American from Boston, which was out of the blue, because like I ordered coffee, and then I heard him ordering coffee, and he was also having trouble communicating. I'm like, hey, where are you from? And I was like, hey, we can understand each other. It was so cool though. The experience just
No, I mean, you met a person from Boston at
yeah,
the place you were buying coffee in Brazil, in Rio.
in Rio de Janeiro. So what are the odds, right? It's like very low chance of that happening. But
Yeah, but Rio is a really touristic city, so even though common people wouldn't speak English, you would find someone that did.
okay. I probably just needed to ask more because I wasn't alone for too long. I was alone for like an hour or 40 minutes, and I was like walking to different shops and
Mm,
stuff. Yeah. I also met a homeless person at night that like she was actually homeless. She's not just trying to take my food. She was like, you can tell she was homeless. And I recently bought a pizza. I bought like two pizzas, and I just gave her like a whole slice of pizza, and she got so happy. And this was at night, and like I guess normally people don't give her a whole slice of pizza because she got so happy, and that made my entire trip in a way because like everybody, all the other homeless people on the street, they noticed how big of a food I gave, and they were like pointing and smiling and stuff, and yeah, that was incredible. Just to that kind of changed my whole mood because I was feeling alone. I was feeling like I don't know how to communicate with these people because that was when I was doing a lot of walking around on my own, and
mm-hmm,
I started missing America, and I was like, yeah, I kind of want to go back soon because I can't talk to anybody here. But ever since I gave
mm-hmm.
her that big pizza, my mood just like uplifted. Like, I don't know, it was amazing. That was one of the little highlights of my trip in South America, because she was like homeless on the street with like trash everywhere. Because certain parts of Rio, they're so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. That actually prevents me of liking Rio de Janeiro because it's a beautiful city. It has Copacabana, Ipanema, Tijuca, all these neighborhoods that are amazing, they are beautiful, they are secure.
Hmm.
But the majority of Rio is not like that. There are some people living in slums that even if they are in Rio, they never went to the beach, for example, because the access through a metropolitan bus is
Hmm.
so difficult that they never go.
I see.
And living at risk, it has a lot of problems like government problems, uh, public security problems. And I can't even. I was in Copacabana when me and Luis Paulo went to meet you
Hmm.
at the hotel the
Yeah.
first day. But even me and even him, we were walking the streets and seeing these beautiful shops and this beautiful beach, these beautiful people hanging out at the beach. But we saw so many homeless people,
Hmm.
uh, like 1 block away from everything. We can't we can't pretend it's not there, you know.
Yeah.
We can't pretend they're not the same city.
Exactly. Like, if you make like a wrong turn, you leave the safe area. That was my experience. Like, I was walking back from our restaurant, and I didn't have service on my phone. That, like, I forgot to buy service because I didn't know, I never went to South America or anything. So I took a picture of one of my peers Google Maps. I took a photo, and I was just looking at the photo to try to walk back to the hotel, and I made
Mm,
like a right turn. This was like 12 a.m. And it was like the whole vibe changed. It was like dark.
mm-hmm,
It was like really weird, creepy people walking around, and like people lying on the streets. I saw some guy trying to like tell these two women to come in their car. Just like
mm-hmm.
really, really dark, like street, that I went into. So it'll change on you like that. This, like, certain parts are safe, certain parts are dangerous.
Yeah, you really need to know where you go because, for example, I'm not from Rio, so I won't. Uh, I never went sightseeing there actually, even though I'm so close.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I don't feel safe going there by myself because I don't know the city, and I
Yeah.
think that's the same uh, feeling that some people that are not from São Paulo have with the city because São Paulo is not well, it's a 20 million people city. It's not as safe by itself, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
But because I lived there for 6 years, I know where I can go and be chill,
Yeah.
and the places where I can't go and be chill, you know.
Because you know the area.
You know the area,
Yeah.
and even if you're not in a good area, at a safe area,
Mm-hmm.
you learn some stuff, you know, like don't walking around with your phone
Mm-hmm.
or walking fast. Uh, you know these tricks
Like
from
common
big
sense
cities.
stuff, yeah, that you learn from just knowing the how to act there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like where you can walk relaxed. You know.
Yeah. Are there like, because I know Rio de Janeiro has high crime rate, but is there like drug uh like industry still strong going on there? Like cocaine, drug dealing still going on?
Always have been. I don't know if it's like more common than in some cities of the United States. You know.
Yeah, that's when I think of South America, I think like I watched Narcos, so I thought like it was like Pablo Escobar and all that, but it's not as
Which
bad,
is
right?
played by a Brazilian actor,
Yeah.
including that
Yes.
Wagner Moura.
So I was just wondering, like, is it as bad as it was during like the height of all that stuff there, Pablo Escobar?
I can answer that
Yeah.
actually because we know drugs on the streets, on every single street of every part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Rio de Janeiro drug problems is worse than other city of that size, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, whenever the city is that big, there's gonna be like bad areas and stuff.
Exactly.
In American cities that I've been to, it was not as scary as like the when I made that right wrong turn in Rio. That was like a different type of kind of like crime ridden street, cuz like Chicago, Detroit, they're very bad in some areas as well. But the fact that I was like a foreigner there, it probably added to
Yeah,
the fear, I guess.
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a girl, I would not go down that street. The fact that
Hmm.
I was alone was also pretty unsafe, I would say. But I was kind of just walking,
Yes.
acting like I knew where I was going and stuff. I did have
Well,
my
then
phone out.
you,
Yeah.
if you were able to act like that, then you are more safe than the
Yeah.
other option.
I had my phone out a lot because I kept looking at the thing, and I noticed whenever I
Hmm.
did that, like people like started walking behind me a little bit, and then like whenever that happened, I just like put it away and just kept walking a little bit, but not fast. I
Hmm.
don't know. It was like common sense. Like if I started walking fast, they might start chasing me. It was quite the experience. I shouldn't have done that. One another topic I want to talk about is the food in the restaurants. Like not even just like Corderos and the food that we had, but like when it was the studies were over and it was me and a few students staying at the Airbnb. We had to eat at various restaurants. The food was so good compared to American food. Like it was less processed. Like I'm talking specifically about the meat. Whenever I ordered like steak or beef, anything, it tasted like 10 times better than the average steak you can buy at an American restaurant. And I don't know if you know the answer to that, but is that because it's less processed, like the meat? Because America is most of every meat is processed meat and like
Hmm. I
industrially produced.
guess.
Okay. Yeah.
I've heard from numerous, even from YouTube channels of people, Brazilian people going abroad, that the meat is frequently more expensive than
Yeah.
it's here.
Oh, yes.
For example, you can go to barbecue shops and eat a lot here for a smaller price than the other places of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because of that and because of the really the meat quality. We have this, I don't know how to say that, but that cattle culture, cattle production
Oh,
culture, the
oh yeah.
extensive one, which caused a lot of deforestation of our forests, and it's a big problem to the environmental problem.
Yeah. Because they
I
need
think
to
it's
clear
because
up.
of that.
Yeah, because they need to clear up the forest in order to get the pasture. That's
Exactly.
Yeah. In America, the situation with meat is most meat from cattle. Those cattle are raised in feedlots, which is like just like a section that we built, and we're just stuffing cows in there. And there's no grass anymore because there's too many cows for the amount of space, and it's just like they're just basically walking around in their own manure, walking, and it's pretty filthy because they're trying to maximize profit. They're trying to maximize how much meat they can produce every year out of that piece of land. And so the alternative is to raise them on grass. So not too many cows. Like the ratio of surface area of land and cattle has to be nice so you can rotate the cows on
Mm-hmm.
the pasture, and that is basically sustainable cattle production or beef production.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the what's going on in America right now. Most 90+% of all beef meat comes from like feedlots. I don't know if it's exactly 90% and more, but a lot of the beef, is from like feedlot systems, and that's very environmentally degrading because of methane production.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas the other method where they're on rotational grazing, that's there's multiple like peer-reviewed papers I have that talk about the potential for carbon to be sequestered into the land if you raise cattle that way. I don't know. I feel like that's the right direction to head though with like producing beef. If you can do it in a way that supports nature, works with nature. That's why when I see those cows on the hills in South America, I'm like, this is what we need to do in America, in the USA. But the situation there is that they need to cut the forest in order to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, Basically, The problem is that our land is still very similarly to your situation in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
Here it's not frequently not well managed as well. You have you destroy this the forest and acquire a grand area of land. However, you don't rotate, like you don't take turns on the pasture.
Mm-hmm.
So it degrades the land. And I think the worst part of degrading the land is because even if you stop raising cattle there, the forest won't regrow because of the soil erosion and stuff and
Oh wow.
degradation.
So it's like permanent damage, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So what is the solution to that? Just consumer demand has to decrease of beef, of like consuming cattle meat.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there is this model of raising cattle and with silvopastoril is like you have pasture but you also plant more trees between. They are not like they don't have to be like close to another. The gap should be between the trees should be higher so the cattle can go in between them.
Okay.
And then you can regrow forest even though you are raising cattle there. So you lessen your damage to the environment.
Oh wow.
And you also provide shade and a more thermal comfort to the cattle. So it's also about animal welfare
Exactly.
in some
Awesome.
kind of way.
Yeah, that sounds like a great sort of system, like including sections of forest in there for the cows to
Mm-hmm.
they get shade, they get maybe some access to nature, you know. Um, yeah, that's like animal welfare is another, like it's not just about protecting the environment, it's also moral. Like
Yeah.
how are we raising these millions and millions of animals, you know? So there's so many reasons why we should all gravitate toward more natural agriculture methods. There's so many reasons, like the environment, animal welfare, the end food product is
Health.
better for human health. Yeah, it's just like so many positives, and I love this stuff because I love like I can't eat any processed meat. Like I try not to the best I can, to the point where I can't hang out with my friends. Like after we watch a movie, they're all going to Taco Bell. I'm like, guys, I can't eat this stuff. Like I just can't eat this stuff because like if you check my fridge right now, it's all meat that's been from farms, like very natural farms. It is a little bit more pricey, but we as a family kind of made that decision. Like we're gonna put our dollars in this way so we don't get health issues and then end up paying medical bills. So it's not like a total loss of money, because if you save money with food in America, you're probably going to get sick or something and then you're going to pay the medical bills. So like we just kind of think that way. Like let's be more preventative, because preventative medicine is not being taught much in America. I don't know the same in South America.
Uh, I don't think so, but it's like now it's more than before. Like we have this trend of talking more about preventive and lessen the meat consumption and some actions like that, like having preventive exams.
Yeah, because I met a doctor on my flight back to America. She's from Virginia, but she's originally from Sao Paulo, and she's a doctor. And she was saying like in medicine, the future of medicine, a really bright section is immunology. She said, which is like immune system health. So that's preventative. That's like a sector of preventative medicine, because right now we're kind of in like a vicious cycle of like cheap foods, cheap processed foods. We get sick, buy medicine, buy treatment, back to cheap foods, get sick again, treatment. It's like a vicious cycle, and it's very bad for the environment and like the earth. The earth has a carrying capacity. It's good for the economy, honestly, but The economy is not going to be around if we lose the environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who does this economy favors, you know? It's
Yeah.
not us, it's not people.
It's like we got to really make some shifts, I think. And that comes with like educating people because like we talked about, most of the high performing videos are not talking about this stuff at all.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm trying to do, make these type of videos go viral. There's actually a lot of good going on though, because a lot of documentaries are coming out that discuss the situation with cattle and the earth carrying capacity, and those documentaries are like, the recent ones are coming out like that, and like big names are doing it, like probably Leonardo DiCaprio, the actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's one of the most famous, and he's really a spokesman for like nature and stuff, and he did a documentary called Before the Flood, which I highly recommend you watch because yeah, that was a really good one. Before the Flood, they talk about like global warming, and the title is about global warming, and they go to different parts of the planet. And Woody Harrelson, yeah, Woody Harrelson, he also made one
Mm-hmm.
called Kiss the Ground. So yeah, people are stepping up. Zac Efron, Down to Earth. Zac Efron made a Netflix nature documentary called Down to Earth. So that makes me happy knowing that these people with like big followings, they're doing work, they're doing stuff. Because if they say something, a lot of ears will kind of hear it. I highly recommend you watch those documentaries. Before the Flood is good. Down to Earth. Do you guys listen or do you guys watch a lot of American movies or mainly just
Yeah.
okay?
You
Is it
consume a lot of American culture in a way.
okay? So most of the movies that you guys watch, is it from Hollywood or is a lot of it from South American films and stuff?
No, unfortunately, we don't cherish our movies and our cultural production as much as we should.
Mm-hmm.
We actually consume more of the Hollywood production ones.
Okay. Do you have like some? What are your top three favorite movies, or like
Uh,
some movies you like?
Mine are not actually Hollywood ones, but I love I'm because I know the name in Portuguese. I'm
Oh, okay.
having some time translating it again.
Oh yeah, no
I
problem.
guess it's
You could even
the
send me.
Labyrinth from Guillermo del Toro.
I know Guillermo del Toro, but I didn't hear about that one. It's called, what'd you say, the Labyrinth?
Yeah, it has this fauno. I don't know
Okay,
the
well,
name in
you
English.
can send it in the chat. I'll check it out. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I love Guillermo del Toro. He's very good.
Yeah, I love basically all his productions.
Yeah.
I think I like The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I'm really into horror movies
Oh
like
wow.
that.
I didn't
I
think
love it.
I didn't think that about you. You're so nice and
Really?
like you're so happy and like
Yeah.
positivity. Wow. Okay.
Many people who are into horror contents are like me, actually.
I like horror too. I can't watch it alone. I have to invite my cousins and stuff. And I we always have a blast though. Like one of the scariest movies is that I've watched is Conjuring. Uh you hear
I
that
love
was
the Conjuring series. Love, love, love.
I was legit scared the first time I saw that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had trouble
they
sleeping.
are scary.
Yeah. Did you watch it alone or did you watch it with
Yeah,
people? You watched it alone, just you.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Actually, uh, I think 90% of all the media I consume are horror related.
Wow.
Not like
Mhm.
really scary, but like um, the ones that you keep it on your mind for a long time,
Yeah.
even it's not scaries and stuff.
Okay. Wow.
Heather is also a fan, and Laura
Oh
from
wow.
the EE. She also recommended me a podcast called The Red Handed.
The red-handed. Okay. I
Yeah,
would
it's
check that
about
out.
true crime, actually.
Okay. Wow. I can't relate to that, like seeking it out just for me to consume by myself. That I guess I'm not a horror fan in that sense, but I
Hmm.
do enjoy them. Like after it's all done, the credits roll, I don't regret watching it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm more of like some of my favorite movies are like I would say Blood Diamond with Leonardo DiCaprio. You know that movie, Blood Diamond?
I couldn't watch this.
It's
I
so sad, right?
started, but it made me sick to my stomach, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it
It
was
was really
very
heavy.
it's very heavy, yeah. So it's not like horror type scary, but like it's like so much reality type horror and but that was one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Like it was one of the saddest, one of the most incredible movies I've ever seen with the music and everything. The music coming in at the right times, the dialogue choice, and just them capturing the reality of Sierra Leone. So I was like, yeah, after I finished watching that, I was like, yeah, this is like top three movies, best movies I've ever seen. But I also like movies like Avatar, Avatar 1, Avatar 2, like those sci fi, completely different
Mm-hmm.
world movies. You've enjoyed Avatar, those two movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the second one yet.
Hmm.
I just watched the first, but I love sci-fi as well.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. They are also amazing movies.
Oh, yeah, definitely. A horror movie you've watched that is like in your top three.
Hereditary. I
I
love Ari Aster direction.
That movie I finished watching it beginning to end with a couple friends, and yeah, I was very scared. Like that was scary.
That's like true terror for me.
Would you say like
They
why did you enjoy it? Because it was you saw it as an excellent movie, or because it scared you?
No, it's because it's an excellent movie.
Oh,
It doesn't rely on jump scares. It relies on true fear, you know. It has a
oh yeah,
storyline that's really concise. So the story itself is really good.
yeah.
It's not
Now
about the scaries, you know?
exactly, no jump scares. I didn't even notice that until you mentioned it. But yeah, there wasn't too many jump scares. It was just like prolonged scare. Like you're just like thinking about it. I, I
Yeah.
I was very one of the friends I watched it with. She was just like saying that the movie sucks. I'm like,
Why?
you gotta shut up. This was good. This was scary. This was because I kept raving about like Hereditary for the next few days, and she was like, the movie sucked." But I feel like she
Why
was
did you
I don't
say
know.
that?
She's stupid. I think she was just scared, and she was trying to like say that it sucked because it got her scared. But
Okay, maybe.
yeah.
Maybe she was angry with the movie.
Yeah, I don't know honestly, but and have you watched The Revenant? The Revenant, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
The Revenant, I don't know. I don't recall the English name. Maybe I recall the Portuguese name.
Okay, well, there's just like a very famous like bear attack scene that I love. You know,
Yeah.
okay,
O Regresso.
you've watched that
I
movie?
don't like.
You don't?
I
Yeah,
like terror, but I don't like gore. You know.
yeah, and it was also kind of heavy too, similar to Blood Diamond. Yeah, I guess I like those movies, and I also like Interstellar. So honestly, anything James Cameron, I end up loving, because the Avatar movies amazing, Titanic amazing, Interstellar. I don't even care that much about outer space stuff, but Interstellar was mind blowingly a beautiful movie. It was just excellence.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're getting kind of off topic here with like, again, sorry, I
That's
didn't
okay.
I didn't prepare any bullet points. I should have noted that
Oops.
the time difference, but I mean,
Sadat?
oh yeah, hello,
Oi?
hello, oh yeah,
Oi? I
yeah,
lost you.
oh yeah. I was like asking, can you hear me? I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me.
No, I couldn't. Your screen froze and I couldn't hear anymore.
That's funny. It's like this video chat was turning into a horror movie.
And it was right when we started talking about scary stuff.
I know, but yeah, I mean, I wish I had prepared more bullet points. But is there anything you would like to discuss with the state of conservation? Any like very very open field here. Again, sorry for like I'm pretty new to like podcasts and stuff, but I think
No, it's okay.
yeah,
It's really, really okay. I didn't come prepared. I
Yeah.
came prepared to just talk,
Yeah,
just
honestly,
chat with you.
it was great to just like talk again. Like it reminds me of all those conversations we had on the trip. Reminds me of the whole trip
Yeah.
again. You know, it's great to see
Mm-hmm.
that you're doing well. This is why I love the podcast. Like my podcasts are not getting views, but I don't see it as a waste of time at all because like I'm just connecting with different people.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not never a waste of time doing that. It's just spending some time.
Yeah, exactly. Did you have like a time limit before you had to like do something else?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Did you have to basically like did you have to go anytime soon? Like some people have other commitments.
No, I don't think
Okay.
so. I think here it's 8:15 right now. 8:15.
Okay.
If you're gonna record more, I'm just asking you if I can grab some water
Oh yeah, totally.
first.
Yeah, fine.
It's okay.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna edit the whole thing. I end up editing every like
Yeah,
awkward pause and stuff. I take it out.
please.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Please make me look good.
Yeah, I try to make the guest and myself both, look good, sound coherent. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Real
Hi.
real quick on the topic of like horror movies and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I recently listened to a podcast which was not a horror podcast, but they started talking about this story. The guest on the podcast, his job is he removes invasive reptiles in Florida from the ecosystem. So he has to like use his snake hook and collect pythons and iguanas, and I'll send you the podcast, but his name is Mike. I forgot his last name, but his Instagram name is Python Cowboy, and so he just collects Burmese pythons. Oh, your cat is in the background playing. That was so cute.
Ah.
Yeah, she was like hitting the air trying to catch a fly maybe or something. That was so cute. Anyways, yeah. So like that podcast, I'm gonna send it to you because they started talking. They covered like a whole story beginning to end where it was nighttime in Florida and he was in his white pickup truck with two other people working under him, and their job was to go into this government-owned building in the deep of the Everglades, and it was night, and so it was hours and hours just to get there, and then it was hours and hours of walking, and then you reach the building. Like it's so difficult to reach that building. And then once they got there, there was some creepy stuff going on in the building. There was some spray painted uh like satanic stuff because there's crazy people in the Everglades, crazy like a wide array of crazy people are just involved in the Everglades cuz criminals too cuz it's so easy to like hide evidence and stuff. So yeah, I was amazed by that story. Like in that moment, I really enjoyed horror because like it was such a cool story. Like every part of it. I don't
Mhm.
want to like spoil it or anything, but I'll send you the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the timestamp if you just want to skip to that part where they start talking about it.
Okay.
Florida's a crazy place. It's just I didn't know. I forgot how wild it was because it's kind of similar to South America, like the Everglades portion of it. Like deep dense jungles, a lot of animals that don't belong there because people will release their pets there. So in, in the
Mhm.
Everglades you can see something that belongs in Asia or Africa. Like because there's just so many crazy people that like to have dangerous animals, illegal pets, and then once they get too dangerous for them, what do? They just release it. So the Everglades is just a mixing pot of different species that just do not belong there and are pushing down the native species populations. It's a kind of a
Mhm.
unsolvable problem, but I mean it still needs to be battled continuously, which is what that guy does. He collects Burmese pythons, which are invasive there. I remember you
Mhm.
saying that there was, I don't know if it was you or somebody told me there was like an invasive primate in the
Mhm.
Atlantic. Yeah, what was that again? The species that's invasive?
It's the marmoset.
The marmoset, yeah.
Do you remember the marmosets that always combined the golden lion tamarins?
Yeah, that's the one. I forgot the name, but
Yes, they are actually a hybrid species from two species that are invasive. So
okay.
it wasn't a species that should exist. It's and they reproduce a lot.
Wow.
Um, it's it's a real problem actually,
So
how to contain the population.
it has like no
And because
place.
the main cause is the one similar to what you told about the Everglades.
Mm-hmm.
People before the environmental law and um, before people actually acknowledged this as a problem of having wild animals as pets,
Mm-hmm.
these marmosets were heavily sold.
Yeah.
So people, it was really common to people have them as pets,
Okay.
and it wasn't forbidden until quite recently in our history. So
Mm-hmm.
and they would escape and they reproduce a lot. They have this high reproductive birth rates and
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
So it would become a problem because of that.
Yeah, they spread like wildfire, and I kind of feel bad for them because they have no place in the world because they're a hybrid between two
Yeah.
invasive. It's like, what do you even do, like, other than, I hate to say it, euthanization? Like, I would,
Mm-hmm.
I would try. It's just hard to kill anything, you know. So it's like, what do you even
Mm-hmm.
do? Like, start like a sanctuary maybe just for them. Yeah, it seems like a very complex problem.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't think sanctuary would solve the problem.
yeah. What is being done when like you guys when they're found? What is done to them?
Some researchers, especially Valeria Romano from IMBE, is an institution from France.
Okay.
She's working with the risk of disease transmission between primates. So
Yeah.
we are still at the point of considering the risks that this hybrid species presents to other primates, native primates. Because
Mm-hmm.
until now, for example, competition, it seems to not be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
For example, competition for resources or habitat for golden lion tamarins, for example, that are our target species.
Okay.
They are not seen fighting for food, or even golden lion tamarins are not dying because of the presence of the hybrid
Mm-hmm.
through competition. But there is a high risk of disease transmission between the species. So
Okay.
this is the risk these invasive species present.
And it has like the potential to maybe wipe out a lot of the population of GLTs if a disease. Yeah.
We believe so. We believe so, but we don't have concrete proofs,
Okay.
yet. But that's another question. How long are we waiting until really need to wait until these species become a bigger problem to
Mm-hmm.
just to take some action?
Oh, I see what you mean. It's like a ticking time bomb almost. Like if their population explodes to the point of you can't even do anything. Yeah.
Yes, because even now at the population size from the current population size, it's still hard because they are widespread, they are numerous.
Yeah.
So taking any other action now would be really it would cost a lot, and it would be really hard to execute the action wherever it is,
Mm-hmm.
whichever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. And the fact that they're hybrids, is that why there's a chance of disease? Like if the fact that it is a hybrid?
No, it's
Okay.
because they are widespread
Okay.
and they come really close to other primates.
Okay. It reminds me of like bison and cattle in America. Bison spread this disease called brucellosis to cattle, And that's the main argument why people don't want bison to be reintroduced to their native lands, because they're saying that brucellosis will be caught on by the cattle nearby. But I mean, I feel like they should introduce bison to more and more native lands, because they should manage that. And a lot of indigenous efforts are going toward reintroducing bison into America's lands. But there's a similar thing with the disease issue. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and talking about hybrids, when I went up north to record footage at the farm, I was asking around, like, just through like local people, like, do they see wolves, gray wolves in the forests? Because in Michigan we have two peninsulas, and our upper peninsula has wolf populations, but in the lower peninsula it's kind of common knowledge is that there's no wolves in the lower peninsula. But the local people that I was talking to, they're like, no, there's wolves here. There's, like, I've seen them. And because in the winter when the ice sheets cover the lakes, they'll walk across the lake and come into the lower
Mm-hmm.
peninsula. Maybe one of them starts a family. Michigan is an amazing state, because the more you go north, the more wild and the more forests increase. And every time you make a drive, a 3 hour drive north, you're almost guaranteed you're going to see at least one or two bald eagles as you drive up the highway, which is our national bird. And it's always amazing to see.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
so massive, and it's like when it flies, it's just mesmerizing. Um, I average like one or two bald eagle sightings every time I go up there and come back down. But
Nice.
yeah, and the point I was trying to get at is that those people were saying that gray wolves, they'll see gray wolves, and they'll also see gray wolf coyote hybrids prowling around, which is, I didn't know that even existed, like that there could be a hybrid between coyotes and gray wolves. Like, the more you know, right? Like, I just talked to random people
Mm-hmm.
to figure that out, but that sounds so cool. Not that it's probably not good for nature, but it gets my imagination going, like a coyote gray wolf hybrid. It's just amazing, because I love wolves. Like, I have a book about wolves right here. Um,
Mm-hmm. I see.
Gray wolves, grizzly bears, basically all large predators. I love, like, I love learning about them. Any large predator, leopards, jaguars, and then I love reptiles and birds. Those are my main interests, but I can't say I have like a favorite, because every animal is just like, I can. The more I know about it, the more fascinated I become about it. Um, would you say your favorite animal is a sloth, or in the sloth family, maned sloths?
Maybe.
Uh huh.
I do cherish them a lot because I work with them. I monitor them for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I really appreciate them, obviously, but I don't know. I don't think I have one favorite animal, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Same here. It's just hard to choose. It makes no sense to choose it. It's just
Yeah,
like, it's all one.
exactly. It makes
Yeah.
no sense.
Yeah. Um, that's why, but I do have a particular fascination with large predators. Like, I can't ever get to enough of them. Like, when you showed that trail camera footage of the mountain lion that walked on the same footsteps that we were on, that was like, ever since you showed that footage, I didn't look at the jungle the same way. I was like, this is
Mhm.
amazing. Like, from then on, it just heightened everything for me. Cause, like, that was a huge cat.
Do do you mean the puma?
Yeah, oh yeah, the puma. Puma concolor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Cuz it's weird,
we call
cuz
it Sussuarana here.
Suswarena?
Sussuarana.
Suswarena. Okay. That's a nice word, nice name, yeah. We in America, Puma concolor, we say we have three different names for it. It's so confusing. You can either call it a cougar, you can call it a mountain
Puma.
lion, or you can call it a puma. So it's like those three are
Hmm.
all interchangeable. But I know Puma concolor has different subspecies, and a lot of different subspecies, because their range is massive, from like
Yeah.
Patagonia to like Canada. They're so highly adaptive. But that trail camera footage was amazing. Have you ever seen jaguars in the trail camera footages in with AMLB or
No,
nearby?
because jaguars they originally occurred here, but with the loss of habitat, the Atlantic forest suffered throughout the history.
Okay.
They are not seen here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So the bigger cat we have here is the puma,
Yeah.
and then we have smaller cats.
What smaller cat is it? What species? Ocelot or?
Ocelots. We have jaguarundi, which is it looks like an ocelot, but like all dark brown.
Mm-hmm. We have something called
Uh,
jaguarundi, in like
jaguarundi,
Texas. It might
maybe
be
it's
the
the same.
same.
Does it have a more round ears and a
Yeah,
darker
it has like
fur?
kind
I
of
think it's the
ears are
same.
like close to the head. Let me see, jaguarundi.
Yeah, I guess it's the same or a really close species to what we have here.
Is it that?
Jaguarundi.
That's the
Yeah.
one. Okay, yeah. We just don't say the D with the J sound like in Portuguese. A lot of D sound is
Mm-hmm.
turned into J sound. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is in America, in Texas, a little bit in Arizona, and yeah, obviously South America. Have you seen those jaguarundis?
Only on camera traps.
Okay.
I'm not lucky enough to see cats in nature because we always joke that you don't see the jaguar, but the jaguar sees you.
Yeah.
So they are on the trees, chilling, watching humans below them, and we just goes through
What a feeling, right?
we only go through the forest without knowing they are there.
What a feeling, right? Knowing that fact. It's just like you know
Yes.
they're watching you, but they're so silent. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
there still might be some jaguars in Atlantic rainforest that we don't see, you know. But maybe the researchers know about like sign, and then they determine there's no jaguars. Like there's no sign of them.
Yes, and I think because jaguars are huge, they would be noticed, you
Okay.
know?
Yeah, there's a like the United States has a natively there used to be jaguars here. Now there's no more, but technically there is jaguars here because there's one jaguar in America in the wild. It's in Arizona. It's they named it the news media they named it El Jefe, and it's just like a jaguar that crossed from Mexico into Arizona, or I think it was New Mexico it's in right now, but that's our population of jaguars in America. It's one. But yeah, that's pretty fascinating knowing that there's an animal, a cat, that powerful just in the wild, loose. Yeah, I can send you the link to that as well.
Okay.
Jaguars are just amazing to me. Um, I know certain people in this group, they have like they're more interested in more peaceful animals and stuff. More cuter animals. I love them all, but especially the big cats and the wolves and stuff. Hard to explain. Like I kind of see myself and humans and them as kind of like brothers in this universe. It's weird for me to explain it because you can't like it would be very difficult for me to hunt a predator like a bear or a mountain lion because it just makes no sense to me. I would feel better hunting like a something like a bird or a deer for food, and that's the only time I'll ever hunt, for food. But yeah, sometimes I watch these videos like people hunt mountain lions in America because their population is so exploding, kind of. But it's those videos are hard for me to watch. I don't know why, because like just like getting it up on the tree, the mountain lion and the dogs are barking at it, and then you shoot it down from the tree. It doesn't make sense to me because it's like he's doing his own thing. He's hunting. We're hunting. We live in the same planet. That's just kind of how I view it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I don't feel comfortable with the thinking about hunting any kind of animal. So
yeah. Oh, are you a
even
vegetarian?
I understand that you have this culture of hunting for food. People do
Mm-hmm.
hunt for food, like when there are these hunting seasons, and people respect it. But even so, I don't think I'll join this kind of activity.
Oh, you
Or
don't. Yeah, I totally understand. Are you vegetarian or do you eat meat?
I eat very few meat.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
eat much, and I only eat chicken. I don't eat other kind of meats.
Yeah, I respect that because sometimes you'll get people that eat a lot of meat, but then they're against hunting and stuff. But like you gotta understand, there's different types of hunting. The reason I want to hunt, and I do hunt sometimes, is literally just for food. That's the only reason. It's not for any other reason. It's not to take a picture or hang up the animal's head or anything. It's just for food, and for me, meat that comes from hunting an animal, that's like the best, most natural type of meat in the world. Right underneath it is, organic raised cattle. Right underneath that is like
Mm-hmm.
greenwashed organic food, and then underneath that is the processed food. But at the very top of like best type of meat is meat that comes from the wild. And so hunters in America that hunt like that with that mentality, they'll live off of like what they hunt, because there's a lot of hunters that they'll hunt like a few animals, and each deer or each elk is such a large animal. You only need to hunt 3 or 4 a year, and you have all the meat you need that year. So they don't even have to buy anything at all from the store. And so
Mm-hmm.
if you really think about it, their carbon footprint is so low compared to people that buy from
Yeah.
the store. Yeah, so that's the type of hunting I support, and um, that's why that's what I'm a proponent of. It's just really good for the world, because white-tailed deer, elk, I'm not elk, but white-tailed deer, they're so overpopulated right now because we took out all the major predators, the wolves and the bears, that if we like, the hunting helps to kind of mitigate that. So it's just like a full circle type thing. But yeah, I'm not a fan of all hunting. Obviously, there's hunters that will just, they don't even aim properly. They just want to. They actually seems like they enjoy the pain of the animal the way I see them hunt. But I will never like shoot an animal unless I'm like 100% confident that it's going to be a humane kill. Like, that's a very important part of hunting for me. Whereas a lot of hunters, they don't think that's a very important part of it. They think the most important part is that they get a kill. No, I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy, not getting a kill if I was not confident that the shot wouldn't have humanely killed the animal. I'll be fine not getting anything, because that's more important to me. Because that's the best way to acquire your food. Or else you're paying for the animal to be killed, and God knows how it's being killed. That's why I'm a supporter of that type of hunting, that type of lifestyle. It's a very controversial thing with like people, just like vegetarians, extreme vegans and stuff. They get into arguments with like hunters, but usually they don't have like a full picture of like why we hunt and stuff. It's great for conservation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you. But also, I think the cause of overpopulation of these prey species are the lack of predators because they were wiped out by humans. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess better conservation action in this case would be support reintroduction projects of predators. Like I know there is this big project of conservation and reintroduction of gray wolves.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think we could support this kind of action. So
Oh yeah, that would be the 100% the best case scenario. But like the reintroduction with large predators like gray wolves, they're in such overall, relatively speaking, small areas, and
mhm.
the range that whitetail deer cover is so expansive. Like, our backyard has them, like our backyard is infested with whitetail deer. Every other night we'll see it. So they're like in the suburbs. They're in suburbia, which is like where all the houses are, densely packed houses. Deer are very highly populated there. And so, like, to mitigate that population, we would have to have wolves and grizzly bears in our backyard, basically, which comes with another set of issues. Ranchers don't like wolves at all. Most ranchers in Montana, they're just like, they always sign the vote to kill them off. But from their perspective, it's like affecting their lives directly, like every day, So it's a complicated issue. I would love to see wolves be reintroduced and grizzly bear be reintroduced. Um, I would love if California had grizzly bears again, Because California, the flag has a grizzly bear on it, but there's no wild population of grizzly bears anymore, which is pretty shameful if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but a grizzly bear living alongside a grizzly bear is you're living alongside an army tank of a carnivore. You know, it's like the size of a car. It's something that's very hard to manage with human civilizations. Like I don't know that we need more work on. We need more brainstorming on that side of things, on how we can coexist with these animals that can kill us like that. But they're so fascinating. You know, they have. I think we should do what we're doing right now with connecting land to create big pieces of land. I think that's a good solution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then the ecosystem can function fully instead of like having them with us. It's kind of like they're next to us, you know, in a big patchwork of land. Because then the ecosystem can fully function the way it's supposed to. But then again, it's like how do you deal with the overabundance of deer in like houses, cities, and stuff? Because they're so overpopulated that they're degrading the ecosystem. They're having major impacts on the ecosystem. But yeah, I would love to see more game reserves, like big ones. Do you guys plan on when you connect your land, when the goal is reached, is that going to be like have some form of ecotourism anyway for people to come see the nature, or is it just to be not disturbed?
We have an ecotourism strategy
Mm-hmm.
within AMLD. This Golden Lion Tamarins watching
Okay.
activity, and then we receive visitors in our ecological park to know about the conservation program, the conservation history of the GLTs.
How you guys showed us in the trails and stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that was an example of how we guide the tourists there.
Okay. So that's kind of like on the edges or more toward the edges of the main protected area? Or do you go deep into the area ever for ecotourism?
No, we only go in our property. And
Okay.
on the when we went to see the GLTs at the other farm, that farm is not protected, but it's like from the owner's partner with us.
Because that will not disturb like the inner parts of the ecosystem of the habitat.
Yes, and because when we do this kind of this watching, we are causing some effect on the population of GLTs, I mean. And even though we follow a protocol of using masks, staying at minimum distance of 5 meters from each animal, they are getting used to the human presence, that population. And we have about 20 individuals in this situation, so we don't want to have more GLTs in the situation of getting used to human presence.
So it's just like those ones that we saw that are getting the human presence, and the rest
Yeah,
of them aren't ever
exactly.
really seeing humans. Okay.
Yeah, only monitoring by our metapopulation team,
Okay.
but research for research purposes, not ecotourism purposes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I'm trying to learn more about this ecotourism stuff because like I want to understand as much as I can about it. Like how like
Mhm.
that was cool to learn right there that you shouldn't go deep into the reserve. Kind of like if it's that big, you should just like focus on certain populations and not make sure every animal in there knows to come close to humans. Ecotourism is something I want to learn more about. So if you have like any books you recommend, you know, send the link. I will read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I can ask Anderson if he knows some reference book
Okay.
that
Anderson is
contains
the
most of the information.
he was the man who knew about snakes, right?
No, that was Ademilson, I guess. But Anderson also likes snakes a lot.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would love that. Sorry, it was so long ago. I get the names mixed up and all sometimes.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's really fine.
Yeah, this was a great conversation. I have so many things I want to talk about, but it's not organized. You know what I mean? So if we do it again, I will be more organized.
Okay.
I can set up some bullet points and we can cover more. But in this one, I think we covered quite a lot of ground. I think we covered a lot of cool stuff. Viewers will learn a lot about everything that you talked about in regards to conservation. We got a little off
Okay.
topic with the movies, but I feel like that
No,
was cool.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be chopped off with the editing, but it's just nice to talk about that too.
Yeah, I'll trim everything to make it more concise with the pauses and stuff, but I like to include the movies as well, because it just adds,
Really?
yeah, it adds a layer of like when people view podcasts, they like to feel like the best podcast, the listener feels like they're just hanging out with us. And so like if
Mm.
we're a little bit less serious and it's a little bit more casual flow, natural flow to the conversation, it's just a better product. So that's what I'm trying to make my podcast like. I recently did my first physical podcast, like, where both the people are in the same room. So I did that in the farm. I set up a microphone for the farm owner. I set up a microphone for me, and I set up the camera on her, camera on me. So that was a really cool experience, like just to do it. Now I'm confident that I can do that again, and
Mm-hmm.
that I captured the audio. Sometimes disaster happens, like the microphone was turned off the whole time. So like thankfully that didn't happen because I rechecked everything and I'm like, oh, it's like a big sigh of relief because it was like a very very long conversation. Yeah, it was great to see you again. It's great to see that you're doing good, really, and I enjoyed talking
Well,
right now.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you a lot. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for inviting me for this chat.
Thank you for
It is
doing
nice
it.
to talk again after you came here
Yeah,
to see how
definitely.
things were going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. We can do it again whenever. I love the fact that technology allows me to talk to somebody in a totally different country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always curious to learn more about different countries. So when I contact Corderos, I can try to see if I can maybe see you as well, or we can meet at
Mm-hmm.
Corderos. I'll send you a
Really?
message. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, how far are you from Corderos farm? How far is Casemiro?
30 kilometers, maybe more, 40 kilometers.
That's kind of
But
close, right?
it's not that hard to cover this distance, you know?
Yeah, it seems pretty close. 30 kilometers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Crusaders, you'll be fine because Helena speaks English, Ayrton, Lucas.
No, don't
You know,
the plane lands. Where doesn't it land in Rio? The plane. And
yeah, they can send you a taxi. Ayrton
okay.
knows everyone that works
Oh,
with
okay.
that,
Okay, I see what you mean.
so
Yeah.
he will he will give you the right direction,
Yeah. So we
the
gotta
right
communicate.
orientations.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta communicate through like with them for my transportation situation. Yeah, because like
Mm-hmm.
when we went from the hotel to Corderos, everything was all scheduled out. I just hopped on the bus with everybody. It was a great
Yeah.
it was a great experience. But if I go again by myself, I'll just be lost again. So I'll communicate with them, and then I'm sure they'll tell me what to do. But I will definitely
Yeah.
try to take them up on that opportunity to stay at the farm, do volunteer work, maybe record. Yeah, all right, this was great. We should do it
Yeah.
again. I'll edit it all up, and once it's edited, I will send it to you. Usually it takes a little while. Like the one I did with Jacqueline, it's still not done yet because of how busy I've been. But I do eventually get them done.
Mm-hmm.
And once it's edited and uploaded, I just send the link to the guest that did it. So thanks for doing this. Yeah, I always need more
You're
guests.
welcome.
Yep.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me again.
Yep. Thank you. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, Laila.
You too, Sadat.
Bye.
Bye bye.